From the mountains of West Texas to the playas, to the pine woods and everything in between, it's vital that all Texans are connected to the land. It's where our clean water comes from, where our food is grown, and it's where the iconic wildlife species of Texas call home.
But with population growth across the state, we've become more and more disconnected from the land that we cherish and depend on. If you don't understand something, it's hard to value it, and it's hard to take care of it. So at Texas Wildlife Association, we're trying to create connections to the land for Texans and help them understand the very important role that private landowners have in the health, abundance, and sustainability of those natural resources. "95% of Texas is privately owned. That means it can be a challenge to find a place to just go and hunt, go fish, go hiking. Texas Wildlife Association is a landowner and hunter advocacy organization. We were formed in 1985 to make sure that private landowners and hunters had a strong voice in the natural resource policy issues that affected them. Private landowners are the key to successful wildlife management, plain and simple. Without them, it just doesn't work. That's why building a statewide membership of engaged landowners is at the heart of what TWA does.
TWA understands that you can't just put a fishing pole in a kid's hand, plop him on the side of a pond, and expect him to become a conservationist. There has to be an educational component, and TWA is a master at that.
We strive to achieve our mission here at Texas Wildlife Association through a three-pronged approach: issues and advocacy, hunting recruitment and retention, and natural resource education. We'll take the Texas Youth Hunting Program, for example. In 2022, we were able to take over 1,200 kids on 225 different hunts around the state. And that doesn't happen by accident. It takes a lot of pieces coming together. Strong partners like our friends at Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. It takes an army of trained volunteers that we call hunt masters. And it also takes generous, dedicated landowners that are willing to open their gates to share their resources with a large group of Texas citizens.
Private property is not a bug, but a feature of why Texas has such abundant wildlife and diversity of wildlife. Picture a busload of children going onto a beautiful piece of property that has abundant wildlife, plants, and everything else, just a cornucopia of stuff. Something happens. It doesn't take that long, a few trips, where they all of a sudden, the perspective changes. There's a relationship that was built in that moment that will be with that child forever.
You see some really meaningful outcomes at these various events. Children, adults, they can find a place that's accessible to go hiking or fishing. It's things most Texans don't see in the middle of town, but it's things that you can see out on a well-managed piece of private property. And so those decisions that private landowners are making are affecting you and me all around the state, whether we know it or not. We feel that willingness to go engage in the outdoors will help them understand why it's so important to conserve wild things and wild places.
TWA wants to reach more people, more landowners. If you care about these things, partner with them on their program so that you can share with other people what you have.
The population in Texas is expected to go from 30 million to 50 million by 2050. The decisions we make now are going to be very important to the future of our state, and we need you involved here at TWA. All landowners, big, small, urban, rural, there's never been a better time to be connected, to be informed and understand the value of our land and the natural resources on it.